G'day there guys, and welcome back to another episode of r/Am I the Arsehole with updates. Am I the arsehole for distancing myself from my daughter after she took her mother's side? So I, 50 male, found out that my wife, 49 female of 20 plus years, was having an affair. I was completely hurt over this, and have started divorce proceedings. Obviously, this has been hard on our 4 children, but I cannot spend the rest of my life with someone that I cannot trust. Before we got married, my wife's family had money and demanded I sign a prenup. I had no problem, but since then, the family money has been lost due to bad investments and lawsuits. My wife was a stay-at-home mum for the majority of our marriage, our youngest child is 19, and because of the prenup, she can't get alimony. In short, my wife will be screwed. The only thing we own together was our house, and while it's paid off, my wife won't be able to afford the upkeep or the HOA fees, so she will effectively be homeless. I have no intention of giving her any type of support for any reason. And since serving my wife divorce papers, I have refused direct contact as my lawyer has advised. But she's now playing dirty by getting the children involved. We have 2 boys who are 23 and 21, and 2 girls who are 25 and 19, and my wife has been pleading with them to get me to agree to halt the divorce proceedings in favor of counseling. After I told my children that I had no interest wasting any more of my life with that woman, they have all essentially backed off except for my oldest, Christy. She is very close to her mother and can't imagine life where her parents weren't married. Christy tells me that her mother realizes her mistake and will do whatever it takes to make things right. She says that I owed it to the family to work things out. I refused and told her that it wasn't her place to make those kinds of demands. Since then, the only time Christy talks to me is when she's sobbing and asking me not to destroy the family. I understand that this is hard for her, and I offered to pay for therapy so she can cope. But she said there wouldn't be anything to cope with if I wasn't trying to divorce her mother. Since Christy is being too emotional to act within reason and refused therapy, I have been resolved to limit contact until after the divorce. However, my other children are saying that Christy's behavior is getting worse. Am I the asshole for taking a step away from my daughter for a while? Updated for more info? Alright, I read a couple of responses and I just wanted to clarify some things. 1. Clearly my "she will effectively be homeless" comment was misinterpreted, so let me set the record straight. Because my wife and I own the house together, so long as we sell the house and split the proceedings, she will get something. 2. My wife didn't give up her career to raise my children. We could have hired a nanny, but she didn't want that, and she chose to be a stay-at-home mum for our children. Because of her family money, she was getting a monthly allowance from the estate. Plus, I paid for a housekeeper to make things easier on her. 3. Once my wife reached 30, she started getting a monthly allowance from the family estate, and the prenup addressed that, so that I couldn't claim half. In exchange, she couldn't get alimony. 4. I didn't want my children to get involved in the divorce. My wife decided to do that, and even brought up the reason why as a form of a preemptive strike. I only talk about the divorce when someone else brings it up, which Christy wants to do all the time. 5. I am not abandoning my daughter. I am just lowering contact with her until the divorce is finalized, because she's not letting up on trying to pressure me into taking her mother back, and refuses to go to therapy that I will pay for. And 6. Also, to the comments asking why my wife cheated, it's a little offensive. I don't know how that changes anything, or that I should care. However, the guy that she cheated on me with was younger. Look, he couldn't be any older than 30. So take that information and do what you will. Now in the comments, not the asshole. I'm a kid whose parents divorced. I was 4 or 5, so this may be a dumb question, but what does it matter that the family isn't together? I assume they all don't live at home and don't plan on it. Parents are adults, just like children turn into. If she is upset because mum is suffering, then she needs to let her mother move in and shut up. Not the asshole. I understand this is very upsetting for Christy, but how dare she ask you not to destroy the family? Excuse me, but why doesn't she ask her bloody mother that question? Her mother's selfish actions betrayed you, your marriage, and are the reason for the destruction of your family. Not you filing for divorce and refusing marriage counseling and therapy. Christy needs to know that she has absolutely no right to make those demands of you. She is an adult. Divorce is an unfortunate part of life. Some things are unforgivable for some people, and this is a deal breaker for you. In fact, asking/telling someone to just forgive or give someone another chance is emotional abuse. It completely invalidates and ignores how you feel. Quote, her mother realizes her mistake and will do whatever it takes to make things right. Not the asshole. Tell your daughter that the minute your wife can go back and unscrew the guy that she had an affair with, you will drop the divorce. Kids react unpredictably to divorce. The basic truth is that they don't have any say at all whether the divorce takes place or not. It's about a husband and a wife getting a divorce, nothing to do with the kids. And now on to the update. I just wanted to say that I was very grateful to all of your kind words and support in how to deal with my daughter. I decided to follow some of your advice and have a scheduled sit-down with her to explain that what goes on between her mother and I is not her fault, and that I simply can't ever go back to a woman who deceived me in such a big way. I told her that I try and be as forgiving and empathetic as possible, but I will not ever tolerate people who are liars with malicious and selfish intent, and try to cut them out of my personal life as much as possible. I was very calm when I said this, and I tried to be as loving as I could to my child, but it didn't work. Christy ended up breaking down, and again tried to convince me not to divorce her mother and just forgive her. I refused, and in the end went no contact with Christy for a little bit. I only spoke to her again 2 days before my other daughter's, Jane's, 20 female birthday through a text asking her not to bring up the divorce since this was going to be the first time my wife and I would be in each other's presence since I filed. I sent the same text to her mother and I didn't hear anything from either of them. On Jane's birthday, things were a little tense and awkward, but I thought it was going good. Until my wife decided to be passive-aggressive with a speech about how good it is to have the family together during important events. Everyone saw through her crap, and my son Jack called her out on it and said that she was selfish to bring it up on Jane's birthday. Christy started defending her mother, and Jane, understandably upset, revealed that the only reason Christy was on their mother's side for reconciliation was because she didn't want the fact that she not only knew about the affair, but helped her mother cover it up. There was a big fight that wasn't going to get resolved right then and there. I ended up leaving and was even more heartbroken all over again. Not only did my wife betray me, but my own daughter too? I knew she was closer to her mother than me, and I was okay with that, but this? I don't know what I did to make my eldest daughter so disloyal to me, but I am now resolved to go full no contact with her until after the divorce, and possibly for the rest of my life. Unexposed is titled, Would I Be the Asshole for Potentially Ruining My Fiancé's Happiness? So, my fiancé and I are getting married soon, and her sister is her bridesmaid. However, sister-in-law won't come to the wedding if her boyfriend Nick isn't invited or welcome. I don't know Nick very well, but what I heard and know about him, I'm not very keen on having him in our wedding. When we announced that we were getting married, and before we invited anyone, Nick invited himself. That rubbed me already the wrong way. His reason was that he hasn't been to a lot of weddings yet. For context, my wedding will be the first wedding that I'll attend, so his reason is not that strong in my opinion. He already tried to come unannounced to our home when my sister-in-law was staying there for an internship that she had, and he expected that to be fine with us. In hindsight, I shouldn't be that surprised that he invited himself. Furthermore, my in-laws don't want him to be left at home, their home where he also lives, because they don't trust him to be left alone there. So when Nick comes to my home, I'll have to keep an eye out, which will probably cause more stress that day. For my fiancé, family is really important, and that is why I'm torn about this question. I know that it's my wedding too, but my fiancé will be heartbroken if her sister isn't there because Nick isn't invited. So would I be the asshole if I didn't invite him, resulting in my sister-in-law not being there, and therefore ruining my fiancé's happiness? And edit, some people asked for a little bit more information on why I don't want him to be there and what my fiancé thinks of him. My fiancé is on the same page as me if we're talking about Nick. She also found it quite impolite that he just invited himself even before we sent out the invitations. We still haven't sent them. We did talk about not inviting him, however, her dislike of him is less than her love of her sister and wants him to be there if that means that her sister is there. I still haven't made a choice in this matter, and that's why I made this post. We're still thinking about having no +1s because of restrictions, so he'll be the exception in that case. Yes, he does live with my in-laws, however, he never asked and they never agreed. He just slept there one night and never left. He is also controlling, like my sister-in-law has to go where he's going and the other way around, and she cannot wear sexy cloth, her words. I think he doesn't trust her to go to a wedding alone. My biggest reason for him not to be there is that he took stuff from my in-laws when confronted. He didn't make a big deal out of it. And now in the comments, you're the asshole. It's perfectly reasonable that the boyfriend of the maid of honor assumed he would be invited to the wedding. Not inviting him, and thus preventing your fiancé from having her sister and maid of honor at the wedding, seems petty and punitive. You are risking destroying your fiancé's relationship with her sister for absolutely no good reason. Yeah, you'd be the asshole. At this level of the relationship, you should know how to compromise with your significant other, and you should be talking to her about it. If family is so important to her and it would ruin the day for her, then you should at least try finding a way of making this happen, and not just decide that you are not inviting this person because it could possibly be a stressful situation. If your in-laws don't trust Nick unsupervised in their house where they allow him to live, they need to evict him. This isn't your fight to have, but it is rude of your in-laws to push to have Nick invited to the wedding so they don't have to worry about him being unsupervised in the house while they are at the wedding. What has Nick done to warrant the distrust? It sounds like he's gauche and good at social faux pas, but why is he an asshole? If you want to bar Nick from your wedding, you probably need a bigger reason than, I don't want him there. There must be a reason why your in-laws don't want him in their home without supervision. Has Nick stolen from them? And as far as etiquette is concerned, it is rude to invite only one half of an established couple, especially when they live together. So unless you have a good reason beyond a gut twinge, you're the asshole. You're the asshole. He didn't invite himself. He's a long-term live-in partner. It was totally reasonable for him to be invited. Dealing with this sort of thing is part of being in a family. Before and after the wedding, you might be able to keep him out of your house. It will be a matter for discussion and perhaps compromise with your fiancé/wife. But for the wedding, given the sister-in-law's reason, you need to deal with it. Might change judgment with more specifics on why you don't want him in your house, but I doubt it though. I feel like if they were more specific than, he's a sketchy dude, you'd have shared that already. And now, onto the update. Although my post didn't receive that much attention, I wanted to make a proper update to close it after we got married and to reply to the people that took the time to comment on my post. After I came home that evening, I showed the post to my then fiancé, and we both had a laugh at how awful I was in the post. She told me that I need to work on relaying information better. That was a big mistake on my part, to not better describe the problem in my post. She also told me that she also doesn't want him at the wedding and that we were on the same page. However, she said that she wanted her sister to be there more than she didn't want Nick to be there. I said I accepted the judgment, as people pointed out that Nick would probably dig his own grave, and that it would cause more drama to not invite him, and I wanted my sister-in-law there more too. So we put him on the guest list, and once the invites were ready and sent out, we sent one to him too. We got confirmation from my sister-in-law that both of them were going to be there. We made plans with him in it, and proceeded as usual. But here's the good part. 2 days before the wedding, my in-laws arrived from France, but Nick wasn't there with them. They told us that he didn't want to get vaccinated, and he didn't want to get tested before they were going. You need to show a negative test or proof of vaccination before entering into the Netherlands. We told them 2 months in advance, and they were either vaccinated or tested, but Nick didn't want to. We looked at each other and asked ourselves if we should be pissed because we had everything planned, or happy that he wasn't there. In the end, we couldn't give a crap because we were too tired at that point. We had a lovely sunny day with the people we loved, including our sister-in-law. And now in the comments, Disney tier happy ending. Seriously, I'm so happy for OP. The only way this would be better is if your sister-in-law broke up with him. Couldn't have put it better myself. I'm so glad to have this update, not the asshole by any means. And thank you so much to each and every person in the comments section for helping having this wonderful conversation. I read Then Fiancé and kept anxiously reading to find out why you broke up, only to realize it's because she's now wife and not fiancé. Phew, congratulations. And I'm glad you got the best of both worlds. I hope your sister-in-law realizes that she deserves better. Sister-in-law is part of the problem though. She's the one who let Nick stay at the in-laws without even asking, and she also didn't think that it was a big deal to RSVP yes for Nick and then give no heads up that he wasn't going to go. She was willing to miss her sister's wedding over her boyfriend not going, even though her boyfriend doesn't even care enough to get a simple test to be able to go. So, not only did Nick not bother to get vaccinated or tested to be able to attend the wedding, but he didn't even bother to give a heads up that this would happen. He RSVP'd yes, then just doesn't show up with no warning. I'm starting to get a clearer picture of Nick and why you rightfully didn't want him at the wedding. And sister-in-law sucks too for foisting an uninvited roommate upon your in-laws and also not giving you a heads up. Our next post is titled, Would I be the asshole if I bought my friend a skirt for his birthday? Hey, so I, 17 female, have been friends with Jack, 17 male, for a few years now, and his birthday is in 2-ish weeks. I know I still have time, but I've been stuck on what to get him. I'm moving away soon, and well, there's a chance we may not see each other again, so I want to get him something memorable. His parents have money, so he has practically everything he wants and needs, but I'd feel horrible not getting him anything, or getting him something boring. I was looking up ideas on the internet, and I found that some people gift funny, memorable things instead of material things, and I thought I'd give that a go. So I decided to buy him a skirt. I'm also getting him some guitar stickers, but I wanted my gift to be memorable, and stickers are hardly memorable. You see, growing up, many people assumed or thought Jack was a girl. Even now, some people refer to him as she or her by accident, but it happens far less due to his height. Yes, I know girls can be tall, but I'm sure you all know what I mean. He also has a unisex name that is more often used for girls. He always laughs about it and doesn't really care. He told me he takes it as a compliment because people find him pretty. Anyways, so I bought the skirt, and it even fits Jack's usual style. He has this emo/80s look going for him, and I was really excited. However, when I told his sister, she got upset. She told me that it was a really bad idea. When I asked her why, she told me that Jack hates the whole Jack is actually a girl jokes, and even had a huge breakdown the other day because of it. I would totally believe her, except his sister has a huge tendency of lying about Jack. Like, she makes up random crap about him constantly, and although mostly harmless, it's insanely weird. Edit, he said himself not to believe anything she says about him. Just in case, I asked Jack if he was really okay with the feminine jokes, and he said he didn't care at all. He looked confused that I had even suggested that something was wrong. I even showed his older brother the gift, and he laughed, saying that it was a great idea. His other friends all gave me thumbs up too. Hell, I even asked his girlfriend, who I don't really know well, and she thought that it was funny. So when his sister called me asking if I was going ahead with the gift, I told her I was. She called me an asshole for doing it, even though I know how much it would hurt Jack. I told her that I didn't trust her BS. She said she wasn't lying, and then hung up. So would I be the asshole if I gave him the skirt? I'm sure he'll laugh at it, and that his sister is lying, but maybe I should just get him something else to be safe, in case there is a slight chance that she isn't lying. I've gotten really attached to the gift though, and the more I think about it, the more perfect the idea gets. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I may be the asshole because there is a slight chance that his sister may not be lying. Also, this whole thing probably isn't worth it, and I'm sure I could find something else, although it would take longer. Now in the comments, you would be the asshole. It's his birthday, and as a gift, you want to continue with the joke that he's heard his whole life. Yes, he probably can handle the joke, and it doesn't affect him negatively, but I highly doubt he likes the joke. Giving him the skirt instead of a gift is just you making fun of him on his birthday. Just because he can take the joke doesn't mean you should go along with it. And OP replies, I see your perspective and I will rethink the gift, just because there is a chance. I'm not saying the skirt is a no because I genuinely believe he'll like it. His own girlfriend, older brother and friend since kindergarten think so, and he has never once shown any signs of discomfort and is really confident about how he looks. He told me this himself. But thank you for the reply, and I will definitely look around for some other things. You would be the asshole. He could have conflicted feelings on it, but either way, why get him a gift that highlights something that's treating him like a joke? You are reducing your friendship into, ha ha ha, isn't it funny how some people misgender you? There's gotta be something else you can get him that is meaningful and isn't laughing at his expense. OP says, I get it. I just thought he'd appreciate a funny joke type of gift instead of the constant expensive things that he already has. He seems to be confident and even makes the jokes himself, but I totally get it. Like I said in other replies, I'll look into other things, but I'm still thinking it over. Thank you. Upside to giving the gift, he laughs and thinks that it's funny. Downside to giving the gift, he's hurt that even his close friends harp on a played out joke that actually makes him uncomfortable. Giving him the skirt definitely has a chance of making you the asshole. Not giving him the skirt doesn't. So why risk it? And now onto the update. So I've gotten a few DMs asking for an update, so I decided to quickly give you all one. After reading through all your comments, I decided to scrap the skirt. Instead, I handmade this huge poster composed of different horror movie film posters that he likes. He's a huge horror movie nerd, so I thought that it would be nice. The guitar stickers that I mentioned in my OG post were horror related too, so yeah. By the way, I gave him the gift earlier because I might move earlier than I thought, and I might miss his birthday. On a sadder note, his girlfriend broke up with him a few days ago. I'm not going to share why because it's too personal and not my place to share, but it was hard on him. So his friends, me included, had a little get-together, and that was great. He's still upset, understandably, but he's starting to make his stupid jokes again, so that's a good sign. And no, I do not have a crush on him, and he doesn't have one on me. The reason I wanted my gift to be memorable was because I do appreciate him as a friend. He's helped me through my parents' divorce and when I got dumped. I am not in the right mindset for a relationship right now, and neither is he. And about the girl jokes, he truly does not care. His brother mentioned the skirt to him yesterday, and he laughed. When I showed it to him, he said that it was sick, but he definitely liked the poster better, and honestly, so do I. I told him I didn't want to make him feel like crap over a frickin' skirt, and that his sister said something, and he gave me the usual, my sister is a weirdo talk. He also told me that stressing over people mistaking him for a girl wasn't worth it, and he would much rather just own it than cry about it, because that's just tiring. He is honestly a super cool guy, and I'm definitely gonna miss him. I'm moving so soon, and I know deep down that I'm not going to see many of the people I've become friends with here, but I'm definitely gonna treasure them all. Thanks for the comments on my OG post, I read and appreciated all of them. Now in the comments, so glad he liked the poster. Great idea. I guess the only way to truly find out about the skirt is to ask him one day. You know him better than anyone on Reddit, unless he's actually reading this. It's great to read how you have been supporting each other over the years. That's a really positive relationship you have there. Keep being a caring friend, and give us another update if you end up as a couple one day. Alright, and I think that's where I end the episode today, guys. I really do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. With that said, I hope you have a bloody good time. I'll see you in the next episode. You're looking good today, as always, and bye.